Dude, apparently, like, Texas got obliterated by a bunch of, like, see that?
Okay. last time we started off surrounded, had a nice chat with. Hold
Mr.
on.
Lantern.
Yep.
Yep.
Well,
Mr.
no,
Lamp.
we
No, we
chatted
had
with
the guards.
not Daxos, Verados.
Yes, Verdos.
We had a chat with Verados, and then him and his guards were all mind controlled by Mr. Lamp, and Mr. Lamp revealed the ruins were not what we thought they were. The building was made.
Yep.
We each passed a test,
You did.
and we went downstairs where we each failed the test.
We each failed the test. Okay.
I found a hand and failed many checks to find out what it was.
Indeed, you did. Yep.
We leveled up.
Ryan went to a bowl.
You did.
12.
You found a seed, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
That is now
found a
within your
gold
possession.
seed. Yep, it's in my inventory, but I don't know.
Right. We found out through some checks done by Josh that the bowl where the seed was found in the ashes beneath was either donated, gifted, or created for this temple by Emphara, his patron god, suggesting some sort of relationship between this place and his patron god. You noted, Ryan, there was other things you saw too, correct?
But yeah, it's like I had like found the hole in the wall.
You determined that the hole in the wall went up instead of sideways, which is an important
and there was
distinction.
like a map in here that was telling us to go somewhere.
Yeah, it is, right? And we've kind of, I think, halted there. We have this map that kind of is incomplete, but made of a similar material to that of what Ty's dagger was made of, that Aetherbane steel, which is a very rare material, only used sparingly, and hints at a potential very important purpose for such things. It's not used on everyday items.
Inside the bowl, there was like ash or something, right?
Correct, yes.
And then inside that ash is where Rye found the seed, the golden
Yes,
seed.
I moved the ash and found the seed.
Yes, that's where you touched and found the seed. It felt warm to your touch, which struck you kind of as odd because the ashes around it clearly haven't been activated or like used or warm for some time. So there appears to be some heat emanating from that golden seed itself, and not specifically fire that would have been in there. Who knows, eons ago, potentially, to your knowledge.
Right. And it was a note or a map that kind of showed us
It's
or
like a
told
map.
us where to go.
Yeah, you have a chunk of Aether steel, which basically has a depiction. You guys are on this map with me, right?
I'm looking at this bowl and the fire.
You're looking at the bowl and stuff, right? Basically, it depicts with imagery a path that leads kind of through a dense forest, leading to a symbol at the end of said map that was sort of etched in, very similar to the symbol that Ryan has on his amulet, his druidic focus there. But I don't think you guys determined when we were last chatting about like exactly where that is. I can, if you'd like to investigate further in this room, but generally speaking, you saw a couple mosaics in and around the inner sanctum, right, that depicted several gods of the pantheon. Two most prominent were those of Josh thought to be Thassa and Emphara, and there was also a god that was kind of veiled by shadow standing between them, and below those three figures, as depicted sort of in the imagery here, was a large tree with its roots sort of sinking deep into the earth at the center of a more densely packed forest.
Mm-hmm. And you told us who these were, right? Like I didn't really have an opportunity to write down notes for them. Is this Heliod?
It's an unknown figure at this point. It is, masked, golden, radiant. Symbolism there is, radiates from behind a mask. This one should be like Thassa itself, which is typically depicted by a clothed or like it's Thassa in a way that not typically depicted, but you could determine that from it's supposed to be Thassa. Right now, it doesn't look all that much like her, but it's supposed to be. Yes, that's great.
And behind them is just like the starry magic.
That there
Face.
it should kind of depict a
Or is it like a shadowy figure?
yeah, the veiled god, the one that's like hidden by darkness.
Okay.
Yeah, you've got the map fragment.
Sorry, I'm just hastily taking some notes down
Nope,
here
that's
while I
quite
can
all right.
while you explain it.
Right.
Okay.
Ryan, I'll read this to you kind of about the map itself when you investigated it. You found it sort of in a sealed compartment beneath some mosaic tiles.
Yep.
It was a thin plate of aether steel. It was very cold to your touch, but it sort of thrummed magically in your hands, almost as though it was possessive of something greater. It sort of depicts a magical map that sort of shimmers across its surface. It changes depending on how you tilt it, but there's one clear image, and it's basically a giant tree surrounded by that symbol with which you have on your druidic focus. Okay, basically it marked a trail potentially through a large forest, having certain pieces that stand out in it. You're not quite sure what those symbols mean at this point, but they seem to be sort of landmarks or something depicting a pathway through a large forest. And then you found the key, or sort of not the key. You found the seed in the Amphara's bowl there, and we talked about that a little bit. Ty, you also had a run in again with a chest.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
Wherein you found that the only way to open it was by pushing into the center that mysterious coin.
Coin. Yep.
Right? Yep. Opening it, you revealed what appeared to be a mummified right hand, covered in a black, almost silk-looking cloth, and it is adorned with a ring. I think that's where we ended.
Basically.
Yeah.
We're basically just getting ready to leave.
Oh, I think, or was it Josh that touched it and
Josh touched
Yeah,
it.
Josh
several
touched it,
points
took
of
some
necrotic
yeah.
damage. Yeah. So Josh touched it and took necrotic damage.
Does the hand, sorry, does the hand look preserved or is it decayed?
It's like skeletal. It's not like
Okay.
it's been here and it's just like a perfect human hand. It's skeletal with remains.
Okay.
Like it has tatters of flesh sort of hanging onto it, but definitely seen time pass.
And we know the cloth is magical.
Yes, someone used detect magic and detected magic emanating from the
did.
box, one way or
Yep.
another.
I'm going to, after I see Balrin take damage from it, he's going to quickly wrap the hand back up in the cloth and try to pull off the ring.
Okay, give me a sleight of hand check. We'll make it a DC, because you're sort of taking the understanding of, hey, maybe I shouldn't touch this hand with my bare hands. You're being careful, right? So I would say a sleight of hand check, maybe a DC 12.
All right.
Yeah. You successfully maneuver your way, being careful not to make contact with the actual skeletal remains itself. Kind of hold it in one hand, pinching the cloth over top of the bottom, and you slowly work the ring off the left index finger, or I guess right index finger, and it falls into your hand with a bit of a heft. The ring itself sort of feels like warm to the touch, which is odd for something that's been maybe sitting in a box for some time. It appears to be very similar to that of the material that your dagger was made of, though blackened a little darker than what your dagger and, if you inspect the map, would look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
The ring doesn't hurt me when I plop it into my unshielded hand, right?
No, the ring does not. But as you do that, the hand turns to dust.
Oh.
And falls away.
Whoopsie. I'm sure. I look at Murios and I say, I'm sure you won't mind if I take this with me.
Mirios looks back at you and goes, the path reveals itself by its own accord. The items here mean nothing to me, so please continue.
Perfect then, just as I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
So
are we content with what we found here, fellas?
Yeah, I would say so.
as Mirios sort of hears you say that, he kind of steps forward out of the shadow, his golden mask kind of reflecting in strange light of the sanctum. You notice a bit of Nyx sort of leaking out of that his one eye, very similar to this picture. um, he looks to you all and says, "You have gathered what is needed, though you do not yet know the weight of what you carry." He, as he makes this affirmation, he looks and sort of glances around the room. His eyes, though you can't tell where they are looking, his face seems to be pointing at the pillars, the broken symbols, kind of just existing in the quiet air that never seems to stir in this place. Looking back at you, he says, "The shattered path does not open by force of will, nor by faith, nor prophecy. It reveals itself only to those it has marked, drawn by ink older than the stars themselves." As he says that, he walks slowly. Each step you kind of notice echoing in the silence a little longer than it should, really. Like, it's almost like pronounced in a way. This place was never meant to last. A temple, a tavern, a veil. Whatever you believed it to be, it is a memory of something greater, folded into a corner of the world that time forgot how to hold. And as he stops his walk, he's sort of walking and guiding towards the exit of the inner sanctum. He turns to face you fully, and you can sort of feel without seeing that his eyes behind the mask are not um, real or manifested of his himself. It is time to leave. These doors will close behind you, but others will open ahead of you, deep in the root and ruin, where the forest streams in shadow. As he lifts his hand, palm open, he's sort of like not commanding you guys to leave the room, but kind of invites you to journey with him. Please take the first step and let the path find you.
Hmm.
And he begins to walk up the stairs.
All right. Varen will take one last look at the mural and then head on up with him.
No, just follow behind.
Great. Ryan, what does your character sort of think about this whole situation? Like, where's his head at? He's just now traveled to a random city at the behest of his master that he's really only ever known, his life as a blacksmith. He's now found his way into some strange clandestine temple hidden behind illusion, only to be told by some strange, mysterious, crazy, potentially powerful magic user that he is marked in some way, and that he's found some sort of relic that might, change the very path of his life. Where's his head at?
Definitely confused, but also very curious as to what I'll end up finding if I go this path. What answers I'll get.
Do you think Felindor is excited by the idea of something greater than just being in the forge, or is it something that is troublesome to him?
Currently, he just kind of feels a little unsure of everything. Like he doesn't feel super excited to find this out because he was pretty content with what he was doing, but he is also interested to find out more since he doesn't really know too much of his past or where he's from. So if this could give him some answers, he's also got that little, interest to see what he could learn.
Okay, great. And what about Varen? Obviously, he's just been revealed that, like the last 15 years of his life, he's been holding on to something of his mother's that, you know, would have tipped him off kind of had he put the pieces together. But also, like, he's learned a lot more about why or what might have happened that night. Where's his head at?
Yeah, the revealing of the note was a game changer for him. Like, that's huge. Um, Knowing that there was more to what happened than his childish mind could have put together back in 15 years ago.
Yep.
And then seeing the connections with the mask, how this gilded veil was a place that his parents had frequented before, um, knowing that they were involved somehow in what's going on here, or what was going on here, makes more questions than answers were revealed, but he wants to continue. Like, this is obviously a path that had opened up, just like Mr. Mask had said. Like, there's more doors opening as this one closes behind us.
Right.
And he wants to. I think he's more focused on what his mother had written down right now than what um, either of them
Other
had
things that are
found
going on.
below.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I'm gonna try and leverage this note and his new companions, hopefully.
Right.
But he's
Okay.
excited. I think he feels a purpose now that he hasn't felt in a long time. Like, I'm sure he's done so many jobs for Vextra in hopes that something like this would pop up, and nothing ever did. And now this is the one.
Something's pointing him or sort of pulling him in a direction, right?
Yeah.
Giving him purpose outside of just putting food on the table for an orphanage, which is a great purpose. A very, I don't know how you would say it, but like,
if you're failing at one thing, you might as well succeed at another.
Yeah, you're a philanthropist in a way, so it's great. But at the same time, I think part of you deep down couldn't really rationalize the idea that something so traumatic happened to you just because, I don't know, it did, right? Like, you knew, I think part of you deep down knew there was more to the story than just your parents were taken that night. So,
yeah.
And this potentially could be the first step on that path. Wonderful. So Mirios sort of leads you guys back up the spiral staircase. The only light really emanating from his purple lantern. You take it slow. The steps aren't slippery, but they're unfamiliar. And ascending or descending in the dark, especially around a spiral staircase, can be a little treacherous. So as you come to the top, again, you look around at the temple itself, the three podiums that you passed your trials earlier, and the entrance, I guess, to the Gilded Vale ahead of you. You do notice that as you ascend and leave sort of that nook of the stairs, that they begin to rise again with a like mechanical, and they become flush again with the floor. You look around, and Mirios is gone. He's not there. It's just the three of you.
Well, looks like our host has taken their leave. It was Thalandor, right?
Yes, that's correct. And yours was Varen?
Yes. What will you do now?
I mean, I guess I'm gonna follow the map, see what I can find, see where I end up.
Let me see that map again, if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'll hand it over to him. Let him take a peek.
Yeah, I don't think Baron's looked at this map yet. I know they rolled on it. Does Baron recognize any of the landmarks or features of the map? This is the one. This has like the tree. Does this have the tree on it?
Yes. So it's basically depicting like a bit of a shimmery line passing through unknown monuments written in like a language or glyphs that you don't fully understand, leading to a symbol that's very similar to the one that you've seen on Thalandor's thing, or like the actual symbol of this place, the temple you're
Right.
in.
Yeah, we
The
all kind of know
iconography.
that main symbol is of like this. The gilded veil uses that symbol as its own, right?
Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I can give you a chance if you could like RP me a reason that you would know more about the wider world than just the city you live in.
Both my parents were scholarly types. They
Sure.
made me do lots of studying on my own when I was young. I feel
All
like I
right.
probably would have kept up with that.
What sort of check would we make there? Maybe a history check to remember something that they talked about, or
Yeah, history sounds good.
okay.
Like unless it's specifically a place of magic, and then maybe Arcana, but up to you.
I think we'll go either or. Which one is
Or
better
religious.
for you?
I don't know. I don't know what the symbols are, so I'll do. All of mine are 0, so it doesn't matter.
Pick one of those three that you would like information.
Yeah, they're all 0.
Okay.
Nice.
You look at it. Which one would you like to use so I can phrase my answer?
I used history. I threw up history.
Okay. Yeah, deep in the recesses of your mind, you've since this is a bit of an emotional day, I would find, just like being able to reconnect to something you lost so long ago, and just having this paper with you that you knew meant something, but you couldn't, for the life of you, determine what it was trying to tell you. Your mother would have given you that, right? Not by chance. She didn't force this into your hand and push you into the crawl space under the house for no reason, right? So you're kind of overtaken by that emotional feeling, and you can't really think super straight, other than like, oh my gosh, this is a piece of something that I've wanted for so long, and it doesn't really come back to you. There's nothing in your mind that like sticks out to you as something that might have, made sense between this map and anything you experienced in your youth.
Right. Okay.
Um,
I'll look back at Valinor then. Well, I don't recognize anything on this, and I'm not sure if you do. Like, does this look familiar to you?
Not at all.
Ryan, give me like a nature check.
Nature.
Yeah, I set it at a DC 12 just because of who you are, but just you're a Ladrin, right? So
Yes.
you kind of know very little about your past, but in passing and conversations you've had with Delmos, you understand that like the Nessian forest is steeped in magic, and you know that more of your kind would potentially resonate there, like reside there in
Yeah.
its many alcoves or recesses. But that being said, like you can put together in your mind that the number of like magical the magical nature of this and the depiction of large amounts of forestry, you would give it a pretty good hunch that this was pointing to somewhere in the Nessian forest. As you sort of come to that recollection, I'm going to roleplay Belran a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He looks at you two and goes, well, I'm not too bad with maps. I'm an architect after all. Let me have a look.
I hand it over. Sure.
He passes it over. And at that point, he uses his stone sense, and he's like, this isn't just any old iron. I don't know if either of you have any experience with this kind of thing, but I think this is aether steel. Not something you see very often here in Miletus. It's quite rare. I've only ever heard stories. Certain families in this city have relics of it, but never quite in this capacity.
And he's looking at what? Sorry, what's
he's looking at the map?
It's like on like
the
metal.
map is made out of aether steel.
Yes.
Oh, I missed that. I thought it was just like a document. Oh, okay.
And he looks at you, and when he says aether steel, that sort of resonates with you in that like your new dagger is made of that.
Yeah.
And you know how rare it kind of was when it was explained to you by your contact there.
Yeah.
Well, Valindor, was it?
Yes.
These trees here, do they mean anything to you on this map?
Not really.
Okay. Well, I think our best bet is to maybe head back into Miletus, see if we can dig anything up. I can stop in maybe at the Civic Engineers Guild and see if there's any maps that might relate to this at all. I've got some connections. What do you think?
I think that sounds like a better plan than one that we currently don't have. How do you feel? We just got to the city. Want to take a look?
Yeah.
I don't know much about what's going on here. I know this city like the back of my hand, and I never dreamed that I'd be wrapped up in whatever the hell this is. But for some reason, my heart's telling me we should stick together. I don't know if with what we saw earlier, those radiant flame assholes surrounding us, it's probably best if we, I don't know, at least stick together for a little while until we figure out what's going on.
It'd be nice if that mind control lasted a lifetime, but I doubt that's the case. So I think you're right. I think we should stick to less observable paths.
Right.
I can show you a good way if you
Yeah.
allow me to join you on your journey.
I mean, I don't see why not. I don't know either of you particularly well, but if I understand what I was told by my patron god there, we've got some part to play in this whole thing, so I guess we could figure it out.
Well, I'm sure if both of us stick with a city official, we'll be fine.
Well, I hope so. That what was it, Verdos? If what he said was to be believed, that might be called into question. Let's hope not, though.
I'm sorry, what made you come to this building?
Uh, yeah, it's a bit of a long story, honestly, but I knew about this place once before it became whatever this was, and I don't know if what I knew was what it really was or just an illusion put on by you know who. But I saw designs and maps, things I couldn't really explain that didn't make sense, almost as though they were designed in a way to trick or fool. Load-bearing walls that didn't appear to support anything on the blueprints, or hidden alcoves written into the map in faint ink that, when looked at, disappeared. But there was a symbol, that symbol, and he points to the like banners that surround you, the Gilded Veil.
Yeah.
It was on the map, and I don't know. This was some time ago. I'm talking 20-ish years probably when I first heard of this place, but I got a call or a request this morning from a city official higher than me, and they asked me to come down here with Telemann to do an assessment on this place. And to be honest, my curiosity was piqued, so we made our way down here together to see what was going on. That's when I met you folk.
Right.
And Valindor, how did you come to be at this place?
Well, it all starts with this, and I'll show the medallion. Like back home, I'm a blacksmith,
Do you,
and my
do you mind if I see that medallion?
yeah,
Maybe I can
I'll hand
tell
it
you
over.
something about it.
Like yeah, so back home, I was a blacksmith, and my mentor was talking to me, and he said that when he found me, he
He does not tell you anything about it.
he handed me this medallion and basically just led me on a path to come to Miletus. I had to meet up with I can't remember what his name was. I had to find what was his name? His name was
Vosk.
Vosk. And
That's the fella down at the dock line, isn't it?
yeah, the dock master.
Big guy, horns.
Yep. And I went down there and I introduced myself to him, told him that I was from Delmos and that he owed me a favor. I showed him my medallion and he basically just told me that it was the symbol for this place. So that's what led me here. He told me to come and maybe I'd find some answers.
Oh, that's a little bit suspicious, isn't it?
I mean, all this is new to me. I don't really know what's going on, where everything's headed.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of
Suspicious coincidences all the way down, it seems.
Kind of
well,
fits the aesthetic around here, I think. And
for
you,
me, it was a note dropped off to a employer of mine for me from somebody I don't know and I've never heard of. And it was inside the note was a map with a riddle, and I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Bailey. I believe the same symbol that
Mhm.
your orders and your medallion that led me here.
Valren sort of looks around. Maybe we should discuss this outside of the temple. What do you think? Or I don't like the feeling I'm getting being in this place, discussing all of this clandestine,
Yeah,
coincidental stuff.
we can walk and talk.
yeah.
I think that's maybe some distance from this place would do us good. He begins to sort of walk towards the door there. Yeah, as you guys kind of leave the Gilded Vale, you notice the sanctum doors to this temple open on their own accord. They kind of groan with like an ancient, unoiled hinge kind of sound. Um, and as you step outside, the air that spills in is sort of laden with a crisp coldness, sort of touched by um, a breeze, a cool breeze. Um, Valren looks at you, Thalandor, and says, correct me if I'm wrong, but when we got here, it was the middle of the night. Or at least sunset, was it not?
It was.
Okay,
It definitely
well,
was.
how come the sun is, from what I can tell, midday? He looks up, and above you, yeah, it's appears to be hanging in the sky, dotted by fluffy clouds.
Baron rushes to the nearest pedestrian. Who's the president?
Who's the president?
What year is it?
Um,
That
yeah,
is
so
strange.
We must have been down
yeah,
there for longer than we thought.
quite possibly. Is there anything you can sense? I know you're of this natural world or whatever. Got any druid powers? I can tell you anything? Your magic types.
Mm,
Right, give me a nature roll.
bam.
Nice.
Alright.
Yeah. As that happens, Rye, you close your eyes for a second, you take a deep breath and sort of commune with the nature around you. You breathe in, and what was once sort of a sea breeze that brought with it the smell of salts and warmth and moisture now brings something different. The smell of age and rot and decay. You look above at the stars that you can sort of see outlined against the sky. Even in the brightest of day, they still depict themselves. and they're in the wrong spot from where they should have been, from where you were. Something is off, and you can't really put your finger on it, but it is not the way it was when you arrived at this place.
Interesting.
Are we fully outside the building now?
You are. And as you look
Right.
back at the building,
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
it almost shimmers like a mirage before returning to its decrepit state that you found it in. Charred
Okay.
wood, crumbled beams, broken, decaying tapestry. It returns to its broken down feeling.
Shittiness.
Yeah, you catch that breeze on your nose, and you get a sense that things are changing in a way that feels unnatural. Yeah. Um, I don't know what's going on here, Belrin says. But we should probably make haste back to Miletus, figure out what's happening.
You had to ask me twice.
Yeah, so you kind of make your way back down the path that you traverse to get here one way or another. And sure enough, you start to see the trees that dotted the landscape that were in full bloom are now beginning to yellow. Leaves are, as the wind passes through them, leaves are starting to fall off onto the ground.
Oh.
You see the sky.
We all noticed this.
Yeah, you do. As you make your way in, Belrin's going to make a investigation check here. Not great. He sort of points at the fields that were being planted the last time he walked through here and notices that there's people in the field harvesting. That doesn't make sense. Are you guys seeing this too? He says. And you are.
I'm beginning to think that perhaps we spent more time down there than we had thought.
That's strange. We should make haste. Yeah, you guys make your way through past the path. Strangely, you are worried that there was that radiant flame outpost when you first arrived here yesterday. Yeah. You see no sign of it. It's gone completely. Nothing stops you from proceeding towards Miletus, which, as you continue to walk, looms its old familiar self above you. Marble towers, large banners, cascading walls, the whole 9 yards.
How different does the Miletus look, I guess, for like Belrin and Vance and stuff from here? Like, does it look drastically different? Like, as in, like, years have passed, or is it just like?
Make me a investigation check.
Well, I was gonna say, if like the building behind us was staying as a full building, I was like, did we just go decades into the past?
That's
or something?
yeah. Somehow like.
But it crumbled again. So.
Yeah. 14.
All right.
14.
Varen, make me one. Ty, make me one. On Thalandoris, he kind of sees the same things that Belrin is discussing. But...
perception?
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, you look around and things do appear a little bit off, but like not so much that you'd be able to be like, oh my gosh, where the hell are we? Like it looks like Miletus to you. Things really haven't changed all that much.
Okay. Do we see any other? Because the time that we came from, or whatever, Heliod, the Temple of Heliod, and the only god was Heliod. Is that still the case? Like, do we see any other symbols or statues saying otherwise?
Wait, say that again. The temple you came from was Heliod?
No, the time that we came from, right? So we're if we're a little bit either which way, I'm not sure.
Mhm.
Uh, Heliod was the only god that we were allowed, that the city of Elitis was allowed to
Yes, yes. So you do
follow.
look and you do notice a ton of like reddish gold banners adorned with that flaming eye.
Okay.
But like on your perception check, you really can't notice or tell one way or the other if there's more or
Yeah.
less. They're still present.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
As you continue to walk down the path, you see familiar stones, etched columns, half buried mile markers. Ahead of you, a cart rolls by with a hooded figure on it, sort of leading the horse as it
John Lantern.
comes down the. Yeah, it's John Lantern again. Yeah, a cart approaches you, I will say, with a person cloaked in whatever, and he's just pulling a covered wagon down the road towards you. As he approaches, he sort of
I don't
nods to you.
I don't want to be like, excuse me, sir. What year is
I
it?
know. That's why I
What year of
wanted
the
to do
Lord is
that
it?
too.
It's so weird.
That's why I wanted to know. Like, did this place did it look like it had aged differently or something like that? Like,
Do our
Yeah,
local
strange.
newspapers come with the year and month on them?
Yeah,
Does
do
Vera
you know
know
what?
that?
He might. I think he does, and yes, they would.
Okay. Is there a newspaper stand?
Somewhere. I mean, you guys are still on the exterior of the city on your way in.
Okay.
So basically, this driver goes past you, nods to you as you pass by, and you continue on your way. Again, the city appears ahead of you, growing larger and larger. White towers touched with warm light, flags lifting slightly on a slow wind. You do begin to hear sort of the footsteps echoing from plazas just past the main gate. At that moment, you do hear a bell chime from within the walls. It's low, it's measured, and it's distant. Um, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
as you walk past the first set of gates, you do notice that there are a number of people kind of standing around, quietly chatting to themselves. But the city feels different at this point. Like it's not quite its same lively self as you remember when you left. What would you guys like to do?
We're outside the interior gates.
Yeah, you're just about to head in. Doesn't appear that there's going to be guards or anything stopping you, but you're just about to head in.
Uh, all right. I'm gonna look at the other two and be like, all right, well, if somebody's gonna do it, it's gonna be me, and I'm gonna go to the nearest stranger and say, excuse me, miss. This is going to sound very strange, but could you tell me what year it is?
Oh, it's 1664 MR. That's not a strange ask. I'm happy to help. To you, that sounds like it's the same year it was when you left.
Okay. And it's looking like it's a wonderful fall season this year, right?
Oh yes, the harvest this year is going to be wonderful, so I'm told.
Mhm.
It's a shame though that the Illuminous Festival got canceled this past summer. Though I can't keep up with all the new rules that they're putting in place. It's
Oh,
disgusting.
I didn't. To be honest, I've never ventured to the festival myself. How come it got canceled this year?
Uh, just there was all that business down by the water, just west of here. Something about a fire or something that just it caused a bit of a stir. And between you and I don't know if if it's good to talk about this out loud. She sort of looks around herself, uh, seeing if there's anybody paying too much attention or what have you.
Mhm.
But um, just be careful, okay? It's probably best not to discuss these things.
Right.
Have a nice day.
Well,
He
I
puts her
appre-
hand on your shoulder and walks away.
okay. Thanks. Thank you for the help.
She sort of waves back at you as she walks on into the city.
Like a really cool anime wave where they stick up their hand above their head
Yes.
a bit.
Yeah, an
uh,
anime music plays
all
the
right.
intro.
I go back to the group. Well, good news is that the year is the same, but it looks like we've missed a season or two. Uh, it's now the fall season.
Well, that can't be good.
Does Baron know what the Luminous Festival is or was?
Yeah, basically it's like a festival put on in the summer to like honor all of the Patreon gods all in once. In the past, it's kind of divulged more into like a circle jerk for Heliod
Yeah.
followers. Um, they seem to have canceled it this year for some reason, due to some event that took place down to the west. This is what she told you.
And in surprising news, they canceled the Luminous Festival for the year. Apparently, there was a huge fire down by the docks, down by the water.
That's
And I guess we just learned recently reports of the latest fires were to burn down buildings that were once built in favor of gods other than Heliod. So I wonder if that has anything to do with it or not.
yeah, that's strange. I've lived in the city for some time and they've never canceled the Luminous Festival to my knowledge. Wow, it must have been quite serious.
You said you're an architect for the city, right? So you probably must know something about all these fires that have started.
Yeah, I mean, obviously they don't tell us much. Suspicious arson, linked to who knows what. Each time it's different. Seemingly that they have no correlation with one another, or at least that's what they lead us to believe.
Nothing interesting about any of the buildings that it happened to?
Well, I mean, he sort of racks his brain a little bit. I'm gonna give him a roll.
Yeah, I don't know if Josh's character would actually know any of this, but
a 10. Not that I can really tell. Some were abandoned warehouses, others were, derelict temples. I think there was an orphanage once or a private home, but nothing that would suggest some greater plan, at least in my mind.
well, I know of two fires in this city, and I know that their reasons were unjust, so a
That very
third
well
wouldn't
might
be
be.
too far of a stretch.
Yeah, very well might be.
Anyways, that lady was right. We probably shouldn't be too loud about this out here.
Right. Maybe it's best we head on. Is there anything else you want to check out? See if we can learn a bit more information. Yeah. As you guys,
there's an the orphanage is out here, but I don't really want to sideline to go there just yet.
Okay. Well, I mean, if there's nothing else, we could head towards the engineer's hall. I could slip in and see what I can find, and then meet you guys outside.
That works.
Does that sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good. If we see or hear anything strange while we're out here, we can let you know once you're out.
What's the vibe as you're sort of progressing through the city? Are you actively looking for things that might tip you off? Are you trying to listen to things? Like what? Or are you just kind of single-mindedly headed towards the?
Yeah, I want to overall catch the mood of the citizens of the city.
Yeah.
See if anything, I don't know, maybe something great has happened. Doesn't sound like it, but see if anything depressing has happened. If there's any more, well, the guards weren't there when we left the tavern/temple, so I don't know if their forces are out in more numbers or less numbers.
Yeah.
Any big news or events coming up since they canceled the summer event?
Yeah. As you guys progress, Belren would notice this, so I'll RP it for him. But you make your way past something that shouldn't be where it is. Balren remarks and says, "Huh. Well, that's definitely different." And he points towards a building that has a ton of like radiant flame iconography all over it. That was not here when we left. And you see kind of red cloaked, armored individuals coming and going in great number from this building. Um, that this can't be right. Yesterday or whenever that time was, Telemann and myself, we walked through here, and this is where the Temple of Thassa was. They were they were destroying it. They were ripping out iconography and destroying it. But now it's like completely gone, and I don't know. Is that a barracks of some kind or a meeting place? Whatever it is, it's not a temple anymore.
Seems like they're spreading.
Something's going
And
on.
a little more quickly than we had thought.
Yeah. We should hurry. Um, he sort of like takes off ahead of you, making his way up through the city gates.
Yeah.
And up towards the
Baron's gonna catch up to him and say, "How are you going to explain your long absence? Probably think of something, just in case anybody asks."
I'm gonna hopefully not see anybody when I go in, but if need be, I think Telemann can cover for me. He's always been good at that. I think I need to find him first to see what's going on.
Okay.
Is there anybody that might miss your absence or know that you've been missing that might tip us off here?
In the city,
Yeah.
just a few orphanage kids, probably, but other than that, I try to
Okay.
keep to myself.
Sorry, what is it that you? I should have asked. What is it that you do for the city? Do you work in a department of some sort?
No, I do odds and ends for a local shop here in town, and
Oh,
try to.
you're a courier.
Yes, in a sense.
Ah, well, hopefully they're not too stern about you missing any of your engagements.
I didn't have anything planned at the time, so let's just call it a long vacation, shall we?
Certainly, I think that would be best. We'll figure it out, I'm sure. If we don't make a fuss, then no one will notice. Hopefully, in my place of work, they've known us to go on extended periods of time, researching different architectural pieces to bring back. So it wouldn't completely be outside the norm if they do ask. And I assume I just look at Falindor and he's just like looking around at everything, like, man, this is the biggest place I've ever been.
Basically.
Do you like get drawn to anything? Like, is there anything that they're like, oh my gosh, that's cool?
It's
And obviously, you're like walking through market stands and
no, it's just like taking it all in. Because like it's a big city and there's a lot of things I'm just not used to seeing, so it's just overwhelming. But I also don't want to get lost, so I'm gonna stick close with the people that know the area.
Sure. Bellerin looks at you. Where'd you say you were from again, kid?
I can't remember what was it called?
Akros.
Akros. At least that's
Oh.
where I was found. Where am I from? Actually, I couldn't tell you.
Well, judging by the length of your ears and the slimness of your face, you're a Ladrin, am I right?
That's correct.
Yeah, quite strange. I haven't seen many of your kind in the city in a long time. Usually they only come here on their pilgrimage or for some great task, so that's peculiar. Are you looking to get back to Akros, or you gonna stay with us?
I'm gonna stick around a little bit, trying to figure out what is really going on here, what all this is meaning, find out stuff about myself.
Right. And you said you spent time in the forge?
I did.
So you probably swing a mean hammer, eh?
I'd say so.
Well, you and I got that in common. Okay. Here's the plan. I'm going to slip into the Civic Engineers Hall. I'm going to see if I can find Telemann. He's my most trusted friend. And I'll see if he can dig anything up for us. And maybe two of you can just hang out not too far from here. Baron, do you mind taking care of this guy for a little while? I'm sure he doesn't get lost.
I can if he needs it. I was actually going to see if I can find my employer and ask her if I could see if I could get any information about that fire that caused a delay or the cancellation of the festival. She
Okay.
seems to have the details of everything that goes on in the city.
Sure.
I think that might be important for us to see if there's any trouble that we should be aware of.
Okay.
I don't know how long you're going to be in there, but it's not too far of a travel from here to get to her.
As you guys sort of are walking, you're still walking and talking. You come through together as you come through like an alleyway or whatever, and you come into a open city square where it appears there's a large crowd gathering ahead of you.
Okay.
Rambunctious noise, sort of gasps abound, and you kind of see the following. Do. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. As you kind of come down this street, we all on the page?
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
You do see a large crowd sort of gathering. From what you can see, it's kind of hard to determine what's going on, but there's like a raised platform ahead of the group of people standing around it. People are sort of whispering and kind of shocked a little bit. Just past here is actually where the Civic Engineers Hall would be, kind of
up north.
Yeah, actually, it's right here.
Yeah. Cool.
You see Valren, his eyes sort of widen as he looks, and he sees the front of the Civic Engineers building that was originally, decked out in gold and blue and had iconography of Amphara and building. It's now been completely covered in red and gold, and the building appears to be locked down with guards surrounding it, dressed in red and gold. This can't be right. What's happening here? I have to see what's going on. And you see him sort of like walk ahead a little bit towards the crowd. Oops. And as he sort of approaches up here, you let me see. Yeah. What is it? Where are we here? You see sort of a group of people. Yeah, you can pull your tokens if you want.
Yeah, I couldn't control that one.
Sorry. Ryan, you can pull your token as well.
Yeah.
If you go to the notes section, Ryan, you can just drag Falangor in.
Yeah, there you go. You see a tall man walks to the center of the stage, and with him, you see several guards pulling along a person in a hooded, like he's hooded, but his hands are shackled, and they push him down to his knees. This person, in a very loud, unnatural voice, almost like echoey. By the authority of the Radiant Flame, we bring to justice this heretic, a civic architect and scribe for violations of holy alignment. conspiracy against the righteous flame, preservation of forbidden structures, and harboring heretical designs. At that, you see them like aggressively remove the hood, and what you see is a man with, his hair and face is streaked with soot, a beard that's uneven and roughly cut, a long scrape mark kind of across his streak or his cheek, and his eyes sort of like very sunken in as they sweep across the crowd. Somehow you get a sense that he expects someone to do something. You hear a low gasp as it passes through the crowd, along with some low, sort of unsteady murmurs. Belrin takes a step forward, looking at this individual. And this is who you see.
Is that our boy?
You see Belrin's mouth just drop.
No.
You see the Inquisitor steps forward. Speak your last words, heretic, before judgment is rendered. You see Telemann lifts his head, his voice worn but steady. I built this city to carry water, not fire! You will all learn soon enough that this path, when you pave over truth, that the ground eventually opens beneath you. You see the Inquisitor raise a branding rod, its tip shaped like the symbol of the radiant flame. It glows an orange hot as he begins to push it towards Telemann's face. The crowd tenses. Someone whispers Telemann's name. A child begins to cry. Belren moves back to you. They've got Telemann. We got to do something. We got to help him.
I'm not sure what to do here. There's guards everywhere.
Can we cause a distraction of some sort? Maybe stir something up? Valandor, you're good with fire magic. Can you light something ablaze?
I mean, I always could attempt to. I just don't know where or what I should. Don't want to make things worse.
If I cause a distraction, can you use your magic quickly and silently?
Who's he talking to, Valandor?
Yeah.
I mean, I could try something. How far away are we from everything?
There's a few flammable tents here by the looks of it.
45 feet. Because what I could do is summon my wild spirit, have it move beside him, and if he's willing, I could teleport him away.
Do you think that will cause a stir? Will we be seen?
I mean, if we do it from far enough away, they might not know who's controlling this thing and having it move around.
As you guys are sort of discussing that, you hear a very loud booming voice again from the stage. On this, the third day following the divine illumination, the traitor Belran Stonebin, once trusted steward of Melita's civic heart, was found to be engaged in works of forbidden design. You see Belran's face kind of be puzzled as he sort of turns around to look. His relics were seized, his plans burned, and his name struck from the registry of the faithful. Let all who harbor him know the price of this treachery. He sort of can't really control himself as he sort of stumbles forward. And you begin to notice that, like, this kid here, in a voice, points and goes, Mom, that's him. The one from the posters. And at that, again, Belrin is a little shooken and shook. Shooken and shook.
Shooken and
Yeah.
shook. Shooken and shooked.
Another person steps out from the crowd.
Freaking
A
prick.
voice that cuts through the uprising. That's him! That's the dwarven heretic, the engineer!
They're looking at you. Is they
You
talking
see-
to Bell right now?
Yeah. You see them kind of like all kind of turn in a way
Yeah.
to like
Keep going.
Oh god.
as he steps forward. Yeah, you see this guy here dressed as like a temple acolyte or whatever. He has iconography of the radiant flame on his attire. In the name of the radiant flame, you shall surrender your weapons. By Daxos' decree, you are bound for judgment. And you see the guards begin to step forward. And we are going to roll for combat.
Holy shit.
Well, I was gonna ask before all
Yeah.
this was happening.
Before all this kicks off, while that's
Yeah.
happening, what are you doing?
What are these buildings? Are these like super like angular buildings, or like would you easily be able to like just sit up there, like if I got up there, or like
Probably.
is any
I
of
don't
like,
know.
no, I mean like is it like does it look like a place that like would be easily? So you know, like sometimes like roofs are like more angled than others. Like does it look?
Yeah, I would say like based on
You got to the
length
peak, it wouldn't be
there-
that bad.
Yeah,
like
peak would be fine. It'd be a little unsturdy on the sides, I would say.
Because I was gonna say while this was all happening, I would want to use one of my face steps to like poof myself up high.
Yeah, you can do that. Yeah, basically, yeah, you can do that if you'd like.
I would
Do
like.
do 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 do.
All right.
Um,
You want us to roll for initiative?
yes, I do.
It's on, maybe?
It's on, baby. How do we? Where's my turn order?
Oh, I wasn't clicked.
Oh shit! I
Yeah,
was
what?
clicked.
Let's clear these out.
That's right. You
here.
got a free teleport up there. You're fine.
How
Oh,
do I clear this?
it was a little bit better.
Marginally better. I'll be right back. Just gonna go pee. I'll be.
Yeah,
Okay.
Beta's gotta figure out how to do some shit anyway.
I gotta figure out how to delete.
I mean, on my turn order, it just shows the two of us. Doesn't show anybody else.
Mine shows like a full.
And now the
fucking
turn
thing.
order's gone. What are you doing?
I don't know. I don't know. All right, BRB. Boom, 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 boom. Sounds good. Enjoy your grocery shopping. Wham. Wham.
What the fuck is this?
That's
thing?
true. Would you like to find out?
Jeez. I'm just look.
If you're done D&D, before I get home, could you put a load of the towels on with the beach towels?
Yeah, I can do that. Make me a Arcana roll.
Easy, bud.
Yeah, you look at these entities. They're almost like glowing wisps. You notice the center of their chest has that same symbol the radiant flame does, but they're like comprised of energy.
All right. Ugh. Now we wait for Tyler to come back from the longest pee ever.
I'm here.
Oh.
My pee was pretty.
I've been here the whole time.
I don't know how or why my turn order is all janky.
What's janky about it?
It's just like it's not clear. It's got all the shit
Oh,
from a
I only
on
see
it.
2 of them for me.
Yeah, I only see the two of them too. Maybe just like
Okay.
reload out of Will 20 or something.
There, try again. Do you want to keep your initiatives or roll again? I'll let you.
Depends if it's better or not.
I got 2 better, so I'm just gonna stay. I went from a 3 to a 5, so it's not like it's much
Okay.
change for me.
I don't have Belrun's stats, but
He probably has a +1. Actually, I have no idea. Can't you look at his page?
probably.
If you
Doesn't
really...
DM
matter.
also playing a main character, so.
I'm gonna go.
He has a
We'll say he's got a +1.
He has a +7 to initiative somehow. Dude's fast as fuck.
Okay. He goes. Balron's gonna go first. Actually, I should roll initiative for the rest of these groups. Yeah.
Can you keep that turn order visible for us?
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to make it not be. Ba-ba-dum. Actually, just because Josh isn't here, I'm gonna retcon this to be oop. That one can stay, and those ones can stay. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, we're gonna roll for these guys. This is for all of the Inquisitors. Oops! Whoa! Just a nat 20, baby.
Big ol' nat 20.
We're gonna make the Spearmen have a different roll. Okay. They have +1 as well. And then, Ty, were you here when I explained to Ryan after his arcane roll about the? Actually, he wouldn't really know, but
I did hear it.
Okay.
Wait, this one, they're gone.
Oh yeah, this is.
There used to be one here. Now it's gone.
He said since Josh wasn't here, that he took one away.
Oh, I didn't catch that.
Well, he actually has not a 7. He has a 9. Oops.
Does Baron know the combat prowess of the guards? Has he ever seen them in action?
Yes. These are like foot soldiers. They're not the same classification as like crazy radiant flame inquisitor.
It's just the
strong boys.
It's just the stormtroopers.
Right.
These are just general folk.
We're just fighting the stormtroopers now.
Okay, so to start, it's going to be these guys. You see them sort of approach, stepping forward towards Belren. You hear them in a authoritative voice. Make yourself known. Who are you? And Belron in response says, I am Belron Stone Bin. I am the civic engineer from the Civic Engineers Guild. What is the meaning of this? And they go, pulling their swords out. You're under arrest for crimes against the Temple of Heliod, for heresy, and for harboring heretical documentation and blah blah blah.
Oh fuck no! Blah blah blah. Jesus Christ, you're fucked, dude.
I know.
Valorant's going for Valorant's going for life.
Tiniest
Go to
crime,
jail for
never
blah
a
blah
crime.
blah.
Valorant's going for life. We got the blah blah blah.
What is the website? DnD Beyond, right? I gotta get
Yeah.
this page up so we can do.
Doesn't matter, dude. He got the blah
my-
blah.
my
He got the
bad,
blah
my
blah blah. He's fucked.
I couldn't think of words.
That's the worst thing you
Shit.
could have said to him. That's worse than Diddy.
Blah blah blah. Blah 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 blah. It's all good, bro. It's all good. My collections, my campaigns. View campaign. Yeah, I definitely did not have like the same amount of energy and time to put into this session this week, so I do apologize.
Yeah.
Been a reg session.
There's some weirdness going on. Some weirdness. All right, pulling up his thing. Got it. He is going to equip his ball. This guy's going to make an attack on Belran.
Oh wow! Straight to the attack.
Yes, he's going to, with like subdual damage. Actually, that's a good point. Belran isn't really armed right now. He's going to attempt to grapple him.
Oh, let's just go with
So
my
they're going to do
heart.
rival strength checks. Find these guys. Their strength is a 14. Belran's is a 12. He's not a strong dwarf. He's a charismatic dwarf, but he's not strong. He's going to roll off. So, I wonder if this works. If I click on this, will it roll for me? Boom. I roll here.
Baron rolled strength save
Oh!
of 2.
Did you see it?
Not on roll 20, but in
You saw the roll though. He rolled a nat 1 on his strength. for
yeah, I got
Belran.
that 1 plus a 1 is a 2. That's
Oh, the NPC rolled that one. That's too bad.
Oh no, this guy. So he's now grappled. Belran.
Which one grappled him?
is-
You have to be within 5 feet.
Oh yeah, this one steps out and grapples him. I don't know if there's a grappled picture or not, but use that. Belrand is now grappled. This one in this turn is also going to surround. He's just going to draw his sword and tell him to stand down, and it'll be their turns. Those guys hit those guys. Those guys hit those guys.
Belrin get a chance to break the grapple on his turn.
Mm-hmm. He is going to get a chance. You see him sort of like wrap his arms around him, trying to pick him up and hold him in place. Belrin is just sort of squirming and trying to fight back against it. He is going to roll another strength save to see if he can break it. No. Rolled an 18. Yeah, that'll do it. So you see him break out of that grapple, but that is going to use his action for the turn. As a bonus action, can I do anything? Bonus actions. He can lay on heal, but he can't really do anything else. So as a bonus action, he's just going to pull out his two-handed maul and stand there in combat defensively. Varen, your turn.
Right. I am going to. In the midst of this crowd, I'm gonna shove on my mask.
Okay.
I'm sure this guy isn't focused on some random bystander, so I'm sure he didn't see me too much. I'm going to kind of shimmy my way through the crowd and get to here.
Yeah.
Even if you
sounds
count
good.
that for as difficult terrain, it's
Terrain,
still
yeah,
be
that's fine
30
with me. I
feet.
was gonna say it is gonna be difficult to go through the crowd.
While I'm moving, I'm gonna pull out my. Ooh. Can I attempt a? I want to attempt a whipped trip.
Okay, talk me through it.
So I would do a whip. Well, do you want it to be an attack roll, or do you want it to be a, I don't know, like a grapple is a strength versus strength and dex. Do you
Do you
want
think
this
it
to
would
be
be
like
like?
dex versus dex?
Yeah, I think that makes sense, depending what you're trying to do.
Okay. Yeah, I'm trying to trip the guard.
Okay, you're gonna trip the guard. Okay.
Yeah. Pull his
Um.
feet out. Try and knock
Yeah,
him
I
prone.
think you should. Well, let's see. You're technically making contact with him, so it'd probably be an attack roll, and then he would have to make a dex save.
Okay.
I would think.
So let's do an attack roll to see if it hits. 17.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That's their AC.
Their AC. Yep, that'll hit.
So do you want a damage roll on that, or just give the effect of a trip?
Is your intent to do damage? Because I will allow you to do damage if you would like to. You want to do damage and trip him? That's fine.
My intent's to do damage.
I think for the whip trick, is there like something that actually talks about it in its skills, or is it something we're gonna role play, like figure out?
That is something that we are going to role play.
Okay. So I think
we had the
basically
idea of like the that Castlevania show, how they fight with whips, and it's really cool.
Yeah. I think the intent there is like if you want to attack with the whip and do damage, you can do that. But if your sole goal in mind is to like trip somebody up and make them go prone or whatever, that secondary effect can happen, but it will happen at disadvantage if you choose to do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so either damage and disadvantage trip, or just trip.
Or just trip.
Okay. I would like to just try to trip, so
okay.
Do a
I'll do a straight dex save. Yeah, we'll
dex saves.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Their dex is not too high. It's higher than that, though. We'll see.
Yeah, but you just have to roll bad.
I will. Oh, he does it!
Yes. Yeah, so you are now prone.
Yes, you see the whip flash out, wraps around his ankle. You give like a tight pull, and his feet come out from underneath him because he was not expecting that to happen.
I'm going to close the gap quickly and hold my dagger above this guard and say to the other guard, "This man walks free or your companion dies."
Damn!
And right now I have the mask on. I don't know if how far the masked bandits legend has reached, but
that's the masked bandit! You hear a little kid scream from the crowd. That's him! Yeah, you see the Inquisitor up at the front, up here, go, "Well, let's not be too hasty, bandit. This has nothing to do with you. We don't want you. We want that man there," and he points at Belrend. "Simply leave, or we'll take you into custody as well." Feel free to make a persuasion check if you'd like.
Okay. Yeah, sure. Probably should have done that first, but
That's going to be his response.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if those are the options, then you leave me no choice.
Dude, you fucking send his throat? Fuck yeah.
Oh, I'm going to make an attack roll against him.
Okay.
This will be with advantage since he's prone.
Okay.
And sneak attack damage since...
Your whip trick, is it a bonus action?
My dagger is a bonus action.
Okay, that makes sense. So you use your main action on the whip thing, and then bonus action dagger strike.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Let's do...
What a dice. Holy fuck.
That's a crit too, baby.
Oh, you did slit his throat.
Yeah, so
that's a... Let me roll the... Oh, already roll sneak attack, so that's fine.
Okay.
So I get double dice on both the piercing and sneak attack, but not the additional bonus damage. So I'll get to roll another d4, another d6, and that's it.
Sure.
I'm not sure. Actually, this is the first crit. What are we doing for crits in this game?
There's sort of full
Crits are going to be
damage
max
plus 1.
damage on 1 + 1. Yeah, plus a roll.
Okay.
So like your dagger
that
damage
would-
will be maxed. So whatever the pierce is, right? So 1d4, that's 7. Plus your sneak attack would be maxed. 6, so 13. And then it also probably adds this one, right? This extra one at the bottom.
Yes,
So is it
and I'll
10?
re-roll I'll roll a d4 here and add 3.
Yeah.
Oh no, do you want me to? I won't add the bonus for this. It's up to you, I guess.
No, that's fine. I think that's fine. Plus 3. So
Yeah.
you did
13 plus 11.
13 plus 11 is 24. Tell me how you end this man's career.
I do exactly what I said. I look back at him and I say, well, then you leave me no choice. And then I kill this guy just as easy as I took him down.
As you do that,
Fucking
like you bring your
savage.
your blade across his like exposed neck. There's a bit of a niche in the armor there, a niche in the armor, and you see red ichor begin to flow out down his breastplate, and he falls over, deceased. Belrin looks at you and goes, Varen, you know what you've just done?
It's already past that point.
I suppose it is. Where's the kid?
He'll be ready.
Okay, I'm trusting you. Do you think we should get out of here, or should we stand and fight? Do you know your way out of here?
I do. I know ways to get away from them. We just have to make our path.
Which direction?
We're gonna go southeast. It looks like
That way? Okay.
we can't stay here.
Okay. I trust you. Okay. That is your turn, unless there's anything else you'd like to do.
Nope, that's it.
It is this thing's turn, and it's got Excuse me. Oh, I forgot about that. It's gonna fly here, and it still begins to hover off the ground.
I guess when we were having that conversation, what about Telemann?
If we can draw them away, they won't hurt him. They're after me, like they said. At least I hope. There's nothing we can do for him now.
You have an expensive head.
It would seem. I don't know what any of this means. I'm not a heretic. Yeah, that thing's gonna fly over there. Just out of range. Okay. Right. It's gonna fly to there and end its turn. You see it start to thrum with power. All right, Falindor, you're up.
All right. Well, seeing as I just saw him kill a man. What?
Just kill a man straight up.
Well,
you hear this crowd start to scream, by the way, and panic ensues. So people are gonna start to like shuffle about in random directions.
That's probably good.
Might be helpful,
Yeah,
might not.
I didn't really know what else to do there, man. Like,
Yeah,
I don't want Talaman to die, so
that's fair.
kind of a situation we have ourselves in here.
all right. So let's see how far. Okay, so I'm gonna expel a wild shape charge to produce my little companion.
Yeah, we're gonna have to roll for that. We might do a flashback at some point where we roll for your character. But for now, tell me what your companion looks like.
As of right now, I just kind of imagine just like as like a little ball of fire.
Okay.
That
Like a wisp.
kind of like a wisp, right? It's like a little ball of fire that can like move around in this instance. So it goes on my initiative right after my turn. It costs a full action for me to summon it.
Okay. Sure, and it goes right after you.
Yes.
I don't know if I have a token for you, which is
See
okay,
if
but we
I-
can use.
Can I just hold on? Let me just, if I do this,
How about that?
that works. That works for now. If I
I
can
give you control of that.
okay, well, I can't move it. Now it doesn't say how far it spawns from me. It just says so I'm just assuming it goes on me
Okay, sure.
because it doesn't actually say like I can cast it 20 feet or whatever. Just it's on me.
Yep.
So I'm gonna so I still can't move it though.
I know. I'm trying to figure out
Oh.
how to add something. Wisp. Okay. Is it like a familiar?
I mean, kind of, but like it has a couple actions it can
Okay.
do. It has the limited health pool, but I can summon it with a wild shape turn. So if it dies, I can just resummon it.
Okay. Let me see if I can just find you something quick. For now, let's just go with this. Yeah. Eh. So you should have control if I did this right. Of this thing. Wait, what? Edit. Can be edited and controlled by you. Yeah, save changes. So if I pull this out, can you control that?
Yep,
Cool.
that'll work for now.
We'll actually change it into something.
Yeah. So I'll summon it in
Somewhat,
front of
but-
me. It can it can hover, so it's just gonna be chilling. And then
So let's add it to the turn order.
do I have
And we're
any?
gonna put it at. You rolled a what? 5? We'll make this a 4.
And then I can control it as a bonus action.
Okay.
So for right now, how much feet? It has 30 feet. How far? So you guys are gonna try and run away. You said.
I think that's the plan. Based
I mean,
on chaos.
I don't have a guard near me at the moment, and I'm pretty sneaky, so Belrin's gonna have the problem getting out of here.
Okay, so for now, I'll have it move to here, to like be hovering on top of this tent, to be a little bit closer.
Mhm.
And then on its turn, it is going to use a ranged weapon attack called Flame Seed to try and hit the guy.
Hot.
To hit the guy that's in front of. Oh no, he's being grappled, isn't he?
No, not anymore.
broke
He broke free.
Oh, he broke. Okay, so I'm gonna do the Flame Seed at this guy. See if
Okay.
So 25 hit.
Yes, it will.
Okay, so he takes. That was a shitty roll. A fucking nat
3
one.
damage. That's okay. At least you hit. Better than last
Hey
time.
man, we're
Yep.
only level 2.
That's true. So I'll hit that guy.
Yeah, you see. What does it look like? Describe it to me as this wisp of fire sort of floats above this cloth tent.
Yeah, so it's like
Does it shoot like a little bullet seed.
yeah, kind of just like imagine just like one little like you know how like I imagine you see like fireworks and like you see like the thing after they blow up like the little
Yep.
embers. It's just like kind of looks like that, but it goes like fast, just poof.
Pew! Yeah, you see that little spark of flame, Varen, fly across your head in front of Belrin and pierce this guy in the chest. It kind of bounces off, pushes him a little bit, but he sort of doesn't feel too phased by that. Anything else?
That's it. And also, like I said, it has an AC and it has HP, so you can target it.
Okay, good to know. Next is the Spearman's turn. You see the Inquisitor at the top here looks down and goes, "Arrest this man!" He points at the golden mask. You see the remainder of soldiers kind of begin to start moving their way in.
My head might be even more valuable than yours.
Oh, we've got that in common now. I I guess we're fugitives. I hate to say it. This one here begins to sort of shuffle his way through the crowd. And at this point, the crowd starts to go fucking nuts. So I'm just going to, like, give it a spin and see which way it lands.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sweet.
They start to begin to, like, crowd over through the tents and stuff. This one... Actually, they're going to start to flee this way, up towards these soldiers.
Pussies.
Yeah, in the chaos, these soldiers begin to be, they have to travel through difficult terrain, so this guy's kind of getting shoved and pushed. This guy's trying to make his way through into the crowd, down the steps, having his speed. This one is going to stand up here still watching over Telemann. So no attacks come out at this point because people cannot make their way. This guy's going to make his way down too. Yeah. This guy is not on the board. So, next we have our Inquisitor friend here in front of Belrand. You're going to pay for that, rat! You see him point towards Varen as he sort of steps around to draw his sword. And he's going to make a swing at you, Varen, with his sword. All right, let's see what he can do. He... Let's see. His attack is here. He's going to use Radiant Blade. Got a +4 to hit.
Okay.
Just going to roll that. Does a
Miss.
9. Okay.
Absolutely
+4, I guess.
not.
So he brings his sword out, tries to slash at you, and you deftly dodge it, completely missing him. As a just any reactions or bonus actions? Doesn't look like it. That's good. Oh, he does. He is going to, as a bonus action, you see him sort of bring his hands together, and actually he's going to raise his sword above his head and start chanting, giving himself +1 AC.
Okay.
Okay, that's his bonus action and his turn. Belran's going to attempt to attack this man with his maul. He's going to step around him to here, never leaving his attack range. And he's going to make a attack with his... He's actually going to use Shocking Grasp, I think.
Unlimited power.
He hits with a 19 damage, doing 5 lightning damage to this man. Bzz, you see him reach out, touch this man, and you see sparks sort of on his palm jolt to him.
Yep.
And
I think Shocking Grasp means that he can't take an opportunity attack too, right?
that's true. Yep. That is exactly what he intended. So, and on that, he's going to take his full range of motion to step back another 5 feet.
Okay.
Okay, your turn, sir.
Yeah, gonna kind of the last guard that's in our way, aside from the one that's kind of caught in the crowd at the moment. Going to look at the guard after he had made those comments and took a swing at him. Say, well, the trade for 1 for 100 doesn't seem so fair, does it? Take a swing at him.
You pathetic rat. Swing away.
I'm gonna go double dagger.
Okay. Oh, yeah, that'll hit.
23. Not bad. Throw some damage on there with the sneak attack since my friend's nearby.
Mm-hmm. Okay. 5 piercing plus 1 sneak attack. Right on the first dagger. So that's
Yep.
6 damage.
Then we'll throw him at him again. Regular dagger this time.
That one is going to miss.
Okay. I think I'm gonna slide one more down here.
Mhm.
And ready myself for whatever comes next.
Okay. Yeah.
Auron, you need to get out of here.
You said southeast?
Yeah.
Just, okay. What if we get separated? Should we meet somewhere?
Is there is there a location that I would know? The Gilded Lock?
Possibly. Yeah.
Yeah.
You've heard him talk of the Dockland Skillet. You've heard him. He knows the city. So
Yeah.
I know the city. Is there anywhere that you trust?
Yes. Go to the Gilded Lock. Tell them that Varen sent you if we get separated.
Okay. I'll try my best. You see this thing. It's going to continue to float over 5, 10, 15. And it is going to look at you. Just at a range, actually. Let me see if I can figure this out. Let me see if I can figure this out. It was like here, right? 5, 10, 15. He flies, by the way. So I'm going to go have him raise 10 feet there in the air.
Yeah.
15, 20, 25, 30. 30 is here. He has been charged this thing with bringing in Belrin's Stonebin, so he's going to make an attack on Belrin. You see him sort of charge up, and a glowing tether lashes out from his chest at Belrin.
Ooh.
And that's, what is his AC?
I'd imagine it's more than 13.
Yeah, he's got +4 to it, though. He's not wearing his chain right now, so probably a 16. That's going to hit. You see like a bolt of radiant energy hit him in the chest. Belrin's going to take 1d4. He's going to take 4 damage. His HP is, I'll say it's max after leaving the thing. So he's down to 20.
We rested for 3 months.
That's right.
Yeah,
It's been
we're the
time.
most rested we've ever been.
You see this lash of energy sort of wrap itself around Belrand and restrain him in place. Boop.
Okay.
Ah! I can't move!
Shit.
And it ends its turn.
Okay.
Maybe I'll take out the spirits.
Okay. So my turn.
Wish I could show it being elevated, but
I know, yeah, it'd be kind of fun. All right, so on my turn, since I see, kind of looks like I can maybe get an idea that you guys are like running slightly away, because I've noticed that you guys keep going this way.
give me a luck check. Above a 10, you can assume that. On a 10 or less, you don't know what they're doing.
Fuck me.
You have no idea what they're doing. You think they're still fighting.
Well, that changes my plan on
Mm-hmm.
things.
Without communication, you wouldn't know. Last you were told, you heard him say, "Take down the spirit!"
That's true.
That's what they know.
All right, well, it's not my turn.
You think about it. I'm going to get another beer.
What are you planning on doing?
My plan was I was going to tell you guys to trust my spirit. I was gonna then teleport myself down here, have my spirit go beside you guys, and teleport you guys over beside me so we could fucking run away.
Can you teleport both of us?
Yeah, any willing creature within 5 feet of my thing.
All right.
But
I mean, you can still do that.
that's also true. You guys just
What's happening?
Like, I can't really look at like you can hear me say something and then decide I'm an idiot and still do something else.
Ugh. That's true. Yeah, so seeing as I might not really know what to do, but I'm still gonna go with my plan that might just confuse them. I'm just gonna like yell at them, just be like, trust me on this, and don't be afraid of my summon. Summon, let them like.
Who are you yelling at?
I'm
Lauren and
yeah.
Baron?
Then they'll not hear that. So now my first thing as my action, I'm gonna use my phase step. I can teleport. What is it? 30 feet? Yeah, 30 feet. So how far is that from where I am?
Teleports into the air,
I'm good.
explodes
So I'm good.
like
I'm
a
gonna
firework.
yeah. I'm gonna teleport myself down to like here. That's 30 feet. And then that's my and then as my bonus action, I'm then gonna that's like my turn basically because it just teleported myself away.
Mhm.
And then I'm then gonna have my spirit move to here and have it use fiery teleportation. So any willing creature within 5 feet of it gets teleported 15 feet from unoccupied space from my view, which means I can teleport both of them to basically right beside me or like in front of me.
Okay.
And any creature that gets left behind, or any creature that's like in its 5 foot vicinity, which would be this dude, has to make a Dex saving throw, or he takes fire damage.
Okay.
The DC is 14 Dex save.
He has a +1 to Dex. And I rolled a 17.
Okay, well, he takes no damage, but they still teleport away to over here.
Perfect.
Just put them.
Very cool.
That's great. At that point, Varen, give me a perception save. Okay. On a DC 12, you know these streets like the back of your hand. You know exactly kind of where you are and certain pieces around here that might work in your favor to make you quickly disappear.
Right.
There's alleyways and stuff, so.
Yeah. I'm also I have 1,000 ball bearings as well. So
1,000 ball bearings? That's gotta be
Yeah.
fucking heavy, dude.
that's what it is.
He just drops them as he's running down the alleyway.
That's how he's super speed. He's like Goku when he takes off his training anklets.
Ball bearings.
Yeah.
How much does it weigh? It weighs 2 pounds.
So
They're
I
small.
don't
They're small
know
balls to trip on.
here. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think
would
we run.
I would assume because you are teleported that far away and it's not within 30 feet anymore, you're no longer restrained by the tether.
That was
from
the.
this
I figured he would just be unrestrained. From
Being
it.
teleported out of a grapple is
Seems
a thing.
fine to me.
Yeah.
Yup.
It just brings that spirit closer. It's like
As Belrin sort of lands in like a flash of like, is it flame? Is it light? Is it smoke? What is it?
I would say it's more like it's like a as the fire teleportation with that guy. It's like a puff of flame and then just gone. That's why it leaves behind the flame that interests people.
By Parthenos' beard, he says, and he sort of feels his facial hair to make sure that none of it's been burnt off or singed. Ooh.
We can get you a mirror later. We gotta go.
Yes, I am in agreement. Do you know your way?
Follow me.
Okay, so it is going to be these guys' turn. I think this guy's going to.
Or I should still have all of his movement as well that turn.
Yeah, I saw.
Does he or
no?
teleport?
I
All he did was
teleported.
teleport. But I guess he doesn't want to lead, so. Also,
Do you want to move anywhere? That's fine. Yeah. Do you go to leave, Rye?
Well, I feel like now that they're here, I'll just be like, "What's the plan?" Like,
this way. It's weird because it's not like we're in initiative order, so I can't really
Yeah, I know.
lead the way.
Basically, it's going to come down to this. As you guys run, I'm going to make a crowd panic roll to see if they sort of disperse and block these guys. And then this guy, if he's still sort of in the... If he's still in like a person's worth of people, I'm going to make a roll for him to see if he kind of gets discombobulated, falls over, trips, whatever, gets pushed around. If he does, you guys are free to leave and combat can be over. If he does not, he's going to engage one of you.
Okay.
Sounds like a plan to me.
We'll take like an opportunity attack with the spear that he has as you flee. So, yeah. Does Ryan attempt to flee?
Well, I just kind of, I don't know where the hell I'm going, so I'm just going to move everybody together so that way at least we're all in the same
Okay.
space.
Can you move at least like on the other side of Belrin or something so you don't get stuck? Yeah. I don't want you to get stuck in the
Stabbed by this guy, right?
like I can quick bonus action get out of there, but you can't.
Exactly. Okay, so that's going to be end of your turn. On this, I'm going to make a crowd panic roll. How do we want to do this? Like maybe a luck check to see if he gets fucked up. We'll say on a 10 or more, the crowd sort of discombobulates this guy. On a 10 or less, he sort of breaks himself free and can step out of it unharmed.
Like 9 or less?
9 or less, sorry, yeah. That's not the right dice.
Cheater.
That's less than 9, right?
Double it. It's 8. Still less.
Oh.
It's still less.
9.
He breaks. Yeah, so this thing is going to basically, they're going to dissipate and start to move this way. Crowd. This guy's going to step forward. He's going to make eye contact with you. And 1, 2. He's still after Belrand at this point. He's going to step to there, and he's going to make an attack with his spear. He has a +4 to hit.
Whew.
Ooh, a 12 is not going to do it. Balran deftly deflects the spear as he tries to stab him. The rest of these guys are going to start to try and move. This guy kind of has to go through this guy to here, 5, 10, 30 to the crowd, which is now sort of like getting panicked again and going this way. You do see, like, as you're fleeing, Belrin is looking this way, Varen, you're sort of looking this way. You see the guy in the center at the stage. He raises his hand, and he fires what appears to be a flare straight up into the air.
Not good.
And at that, you hear a large bell begin to toll. Ding, 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 ding.
Dinner time.
Yep, that's right. Time to eat. Okay.
Everybody stops
so
combat.
it's
We all
this
sit
guy's turn.
down. We have a break. Have some food.
This guy is pissed, so he's going to start moving your way. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Not within that range. I don't know if he has any. Does he have? Okay. No, he does not. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to do, to see if you guys successfully get away without any tail, we're going to do a skill challenge. A couple of skill checks as a group to see if we can get our way, deftly through the city. Staying together, diving over things, hopping over carts, getting around things while you're actively being pursued.
No, we just teleport 15 feet every time. Just boop, 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 boop.
Boop, 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 boop. Nice, nice. You can do that infinitely?
Yeah, it's just.
That's interesting.
That's why that's why it has such a low AC and low hit points. So that way you
Okay.
can just get rid of it if that ever became an issue.
So I'm going to ask initially, we're going to have a threat rating right now. So that's going to be where you're currently at in like the state of people that can currently observe you. So it's going to be out of 10. And depending on like your distance, vicinity, whatever, it's going to lower that. But the higher the number, the more imposed debuff there's going to be on the roll. Okay. So we're gonna start by a group with basically a group perception save. Whoever wants to take it can. I'm gonna give Varen advantage on it because he knows the city well, and this is basically to spot an escape route from where you are.
Definitely gonna be the one to do it then.
Yep, you know where you're going.
So I'll give you advantage. Currently, you're at a 10. Okay. So you rolled a 14
And an 18.
And an 18.
and an 18. Huge. Okay, so I'm gonna make that a -4 for being at 10. So it's technically a 14 on your best roll, right? And on that, I was going to give it a DC 12. You successfully see a back alley that you guys can sort of slip down that's going to cut off sight lines immediately. You basically know where you're going. Do you want to lead them that way?
Yeah, of course. I want to
Okay.
get them out of there.
Belrun goes, "Where are we going?"
Does it matter? Follow me.
Okay. Yeah, you guys begin to book it down the side alley of one of these buildings. And on that, we are going to be out of combat. We'll go back to the City of Meletus map. As you sort of flee, you're kind of in the courtyard at the bottom of these steps. We'll say they were a little less high than this is depicting, but similar in design to where the Civic Engineers Hall were. You're heading southeast, kind of out of the city. You've spotted your escape. You've successfully passed that. That's going to add or detract 2 from the threat rating. You're now at an 8, which is going to be a -3 to rolls. What other things are you trying to do at this point? You're trying to be stealthy? Are you trying to make acrobatics rolls to like use speed to get out of there? What sort of things are you trying to do?
I might avoid, unless they go up with my acrobatics rolls. I'm not gonna force the dwarf. To
Yeah, we would
do
make a
anything
group
too
roll.
limber. Okay.
At that point, we'll make a group roll.
Okay.
You succeeded on 1. We need to succeed on 3 successful skills challenges to get away, and you got 1 of 3 right now.
What if I just
let's
cast?
I have pretty high acrobatics. What about you, Ryan?
I have a +1, but what if I just I have fog cloud?
Oh, that might help.
You do? Okay.
Yeah.
Can we do that in tandem with like a stealth roll?
You can? Yeah.
It makes a 20-foot radius sphere of heavily obscured.
So we'll say as you flee, right? You spot the route. You're down the side alley. I want you to RP like how you're going to do that successfully. Like right now, you're out of the view of them. You're taking a breather. What are you doing? Belrun goes, I don't know how much longer I can keep this up. You got any tricks up your sleeves there, Eladrin?
What kind of like are we like? Is it almost like is it like a one-way alley, or is it kind of like you get to the alleyway and there's like a
Splits
couple?
off.
It splits off. Like,
It splits off.
how many
3
ways?
different directions: north, south, east, west, whatever.
Okay, so
obviously, Varen knows which way you guys are kind of going, so he's going to direct you.
I'll ask Varen which way is the best way to go, and then after we go the way he tells us, I'm basically going to put the fog cloud kind of in the intersection middle point of all those ways, so that way, even if anyone did come, they wouldn't be able to tell at all what way we went, if we went left, right.
Yeah, that's great.
Holy shit, that's a great idea, Belrun says.
So as soon
cast
as
your fog cloud.
It's cast.
Okay.
It's 20.
Basically,
I think it's
big billowy puffs of smoke.
Yeah, it's 20-foot radius sphere of fog centered on the point.
Yeah, I mean, in an alleyway that probably covers the whole thing. Like,
yeah, you're good to go.
Yeah, I think
with diameter.
You can still hear the sound of footsteps coming down behind you, sort of clank, 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 clank.
Yeah. I'm gonna reach into my ball bearing pocket, actually, the pouch, and grab a handful and toss it into the fog cloud.
Amazing. I'm going to give you some bonuses on your next roll for all of the thought put into how to successfully escape this. Ahead of you is going to be a series of acrobatic challenges. There's going to be a cart sort of halfway across the road or like the alley. There's going to be like junk and boxes and stuff you have to either climb over, go around, or what have you. But you've got the time to do so, so we're going to do a group acrobatics roll to figure out how much time it takes us to get through that. Okay?
Are we doing that stealth roll too, or?
I think I'm going to give you an auto pass on the stealth roll because of The fog cloud. That's really smart. So that's going to
Awesome.
go down to a 6. So you're going to have a -2 on your acrobatics. I'm going to give them a base luck roll here to see. It's going to be D100 to figure out if they know which direction to go. They've got a 25% chance. I don't know why I did that, but it's going to be. What do we want to say? Lucky, good. So unlucky, bad. 25 or less. 24 or less, they know which way you went by chance. Everything else, they go off in a different direction. At least this
Sure.
set of guards.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, you hear them sort of slowly, the footsteps of that metallic clang, 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 clang gets quieter as you guys begin to traverse the series of boxes, carts, and clotheslines that are in front of you down this alley, which is good. Belran says, I think we lost the ones behind us. There's probably going to be more ahead. We got to be careful. Maybe we should slow down. And he looks to you, Varen, as to like what your thoughts are on it.
Come on, dwarf. We have to keep going.
Is there like
We're almost there. We're over halfway.
Oh, Amphara, give me strength. You see him sort of take a deep breath. Let's do it. Thalandor, how are you feeling?
I feel good.
Good. Great. So we'll do an acrobatics check just to see if it slows you down at all as a group. So we're going to take our rolls and average them here. I've got a -1.
Okay. I have a +5.
I have a plus
So
one.
it's +4.
I have a +1.
Okay, so I don't know what that is. So I guess just whatever our
Either
numbers
+2
are.
or +3.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll do a +3. I like the idea of that. This has been a fun little adventure. Okay. We're going to do a +3. I'm going to roll on... Actually, one of you guys can roll it. We'll just add +3.
Go for it, Ryan. I rolled the last one.
Holy shit! Nat 20.
20.
Is that okay?
Yeah,
is
you
that
guys
okay?
work as though like you've been acrobats your whole life. You work in tandem. You see Belren sort of like there's a little bit of a small wall you've got to get over. You see him naturally
He just
put
runs
his
through it.
hands together and like boost you over his shoulder, launching you
Hell
kind
yeah.
of over top of the small wall. You reach down, grab his dwarf arm. You do that like satisfying thing where your hands kind of reach and you hoist him up over the wall, pulling him over. Thalandor, you're surprisingly graceful for a blacksmith's apprentice. You kind of glide over most things. Your elven steps are quite, as a result of your really good rolls and face step abilities, I'm just saying you have a fairly decent ability to naturally get over obstacles. And sure enough, you do. That's going to put you guys down to a -1. We're going to do another lek check before our last little check to see if we've completely gotten away, to see whether or not there's any patrols that are in the area. Because there's been an alarm going off and they've kind of broadened the horizon, I'm going to make this a 50 or less. There is a patrol near you. Doesn't automatically mean they see you, but there is one in the vicinity. 51 or more, you guys are clear.
Okay.
Okay. So there is a patrol in your vicinity. You guys are sort of down the side alley coming up to a main street. But you're not you haven't stepped out into the main street yet. What are you doing?
I'm going to do a quick perception check to see what I see on the main street before we step in.
Okay. That's great. Give me a perception save. Or check, I should say. A 14. Yeah, you stick your head out and you look around and there's a few people in and around. You do see what looks to be a group of Radiant Flame soldiers sort of heading the opposite direction you are now. They're sort of parallel to you. You're ducked in behind some cover. You look out. You see them sort of heading the direction of where the flare was shot up into the sky. I'm going to give them a really low chance to see if they check the alley, like a 5%. They do not. So you guys are sort of in that alley. You watch the progression of soldiers pass you by, but no one appears to be actively following you or on your trail at this point. You've successfully evaded the group of soldiers.
5-star
Nice.
one level my ass.
All right,
But-
there's your break. Let's go.
Are we still headed to the lock, or where are we going?
Sorry, give me 1 second. 1 second.
I will probably also have to bounce at 4.
Mhm.
So I figured.
We can stop there. That's
Yeah.
fine with me.
But yeah, so yeah, my wildfire spirit I can teleport as many times as I want, but it only lasts for an hour, or until it dies, or until I die.
All right, sorry, I'm
Okay.
back.
All good.
Yeah, we're gonna keep heading to the same place. It's safe.
Okay. Yeah, you guys sort of. Are you going to try to do it stealthily, or are you going to just walk through the main city? Like, what's the vibe of your approach to this place? You've probably
right
got
now-
like a few city streets to get past, right? I'm not going to lie to you. There's chances that people might recognize you, whatever. But
No, let's. I'm gonna take the mask off now, and but I still want to stick to the side streets. I want there to be less of a chance that somebody can trace us back to the shop.
Bauer looks at you and goes, "You seem to know these streets pretty well. Is there any like underground areas that you might be able to take us that would really keep us out of sight?"
Is there underground areas that I know?
You do. There's certain places in the city that like only certain people of your disposition might be aware of, and Bellerin might know them too, actually, by him just naturally being a civic engineer. He knows
He's probably seen a lot of maps.
Mm-hmm.
He's actually going to mention there's a place near here. We could hop into the aqueduct under the city and maybe pass undetected. What do you think?
Sure.
I think that's good. I'm not afraid of getting my boots dirty.
Yeah, it would give us a lot more cover than traversing above land. Fuck, he says. Telemann. Oh. You can also pause there if you want to call it right.
Yes, I have to go get.
Yeah, 4 o'clock sounds good.
Awesome. Cool. You guys got
We'll
into the
be-
combat?
We'll be in the aqueducts next.
That's right.
Next time
In the
on
aqueducts.
DnD.